Okay.
It's not recording right now.
Yeah, I'm live. Good. Conrad, bring me in after this. And that's the quote that represents struggle. Live from the CRC page. Can you go live? Can you do a watch party? From, ears up, eyes open, fist clean. Yeah, we live and direct, comrade? Live and direct. Hands up, eyes open, fist clench. Y'all know who this is. Now we do this, y'all. It's Chairman Free After Jr. Welcome y'all. Let's get locked and loaded for another episode of Freedom on Radio. We do program on the Black Panther Party Club, hosted by myself as well as the Lady of Rage. The spirit of making history, taking history, taping history, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We are on the historical stomping ground, Oakland, California, the birthplace of the Black Panther Party. It's always an honor to be here. I know some of y'all might be still caught up with the different holidays, so on and so forth. But we say everything is political. We cannot afford the luxury to stop organizing. You know what I'm saying? Because the deal is the system ain't gonna back up us on no holidays, no vacation for the system getting down on us, y'all. Rise up, keep on swinging. We respect no colonial borders. We ain't set tripping. Where we been attacked there, we fighting back, y'all. We here again, Oakland, California. Over a decade, 15 years plus, I think the African Anti-Terrorism Bill is one of the campaigns that we, the Black Panther Party Club, that put forward. And amongst the different acts of terrorism that we have been subjected to, definitely the most blatant is police terrorism. But also different dynamics such as chemical, biological warfare. A lot of people euphemistically refer to as drugs, so on and so forth. Also that, what many people euphemistically refer to as gentrification. Deal is, we say we got to use brutal terms for brutal realities, and the brutal realities is a land grab. This is something that has to be tied into every dynamic, you know what I'm saying, that impacts our people. We hear people in Chicago talk about, in regards to crime, it starts in the home, and the children should be going to school, and so on and so forth, negating such blatant contradictions about the massive amount of children that are homeless in Chicago. You dig? This is, we talking about, sometimes we hear these different terms: food, clothing, shelter, basic rights, basic, you know what I'm saying? I mean, regardless before we get into any partisan, electoral politics, Democrat, Republican, so on and so forth, food, clothing, shelter, basic human rights. So it shouldn't be a debate about this here. But again, opposition to this season time, this is a conversation that we got to have, we must have. In fact, it's so phenomenal. Just this past week, this past Saturday on Saturday Night Live, they had I think Eddie Murphy's comeback, and it's a flip, like on the Mr. Rogers neighborhood. He was doing this skit, in the hood. And the deal is, ain't no laughing matter. He talked about gentrification. So this ain't no secret closed discussion. This is the dynamic that's happening in every arena. You know what I'm saying? But again, how we sum it up, it's important. It's imperative that we put this in the correct political context. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wherever we go, whatever city, whatever locale, this is something that's happening to us. It's tied to the American gangsters and banksters, such as Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. So we've seen Chicago, the massive amount of band of builders. You look in Detroit, you dig who popping up there now? You know what I'm saying? What communities are benefiting up for this here? And a lot of times we want to believe this is just some sort of natural part of evolution, like just that just black people just moving out. In fact, we have an issue with the term Great Migration. Because reality is our grandparents and great grandparents, they just didn't leave from down south. Down south, you know what I'm saying? They were raped, murdered, killed, land stole from them, so on and so forth. In Oakland, California, you know what I'm saying? The people got to say Oakland is changing. No, it's just not something that's just like some natural dynamic. We're being forced up out of here. You know what I'm saying? In so many different ways. There's been a campaign going on for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? We want to commend our comrades. We talked about this before, but we don't want to seize the time in this cold red. When we talk about the African anti-terrorism bill, we say, cold green, cold black, cold red. We got a pressing court date tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get some details about that. But we need y'all to spread the word, tell everybody, share this show, what's going on. We need y'all to call in, whatever support you can, get the whole campaign we get going on for Moms for Housing. And with no further ado, sister, introduce who we got here.
My name is Dominique Walker. I'm one of the co-founders of Moms for Housing.
Right on.
And I'm Carol Fife. I'm a lot of things.
Yes, indeed. I'll be remiss if I don't. Our comrades. We didn't have to call the heavies out on this one. Some Central Committee members, Communication Secretary Carol, and our Field Marshal Tora. Comrades have been on deck down here literally for quite some time. Again, it's intense. You know what I'm saying? So we need y'all to put the word out, call in information. We need y'all to come to court tomorrow. But y'all, you know what I'm saying? We open coming to that. This is something. It's not no subjective thing. Just like some stage in the game, we say, oh man, this must have happened, so on and so forth. This ain't no conspiracy theory, abstract conspiracy theory. This is the new housing that this system has planned for our people with the penitentiaries and the graveyards. You know what I'm saying? Our people say, well, Indians and natives, they just disappeared. No. You know what I'm saying? It was a concerted effort, you know what I'm saying, program. You go down to Chicago, Oakland, different, they got diagrams, plans laid out, what's going to be happening. And the logical question is, what's happening? How's it being done? And also another logical question is, how do we, you know what I'm saying, is there cases of resistance? And right now we got some cases of resistance, you know what I'm saying? People blatantly say, we here, you know what I'm saying, we planet, you know what I'm saying? Families here, you know what I'm saying? The community, and we correlate this. In fact, it's ironic. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party built Oakland, California, Chicago as sister cities. Y'all been riding with us for a while. Y'all know the campaign been fighting to save the Hampton House. You know what I'm saying? Fighting against all odds. People say, oh man, let's give it up and try to get us caught up in different dynamics. Well, did you file this motion and so on and so? We ain't gonna have no law degrees to figure out basic human rights, food, clothing, and shelter. You know, we supposed to be there. So again, we don't respect no colonial borders. We connecting these campaigns again from city to city, state to state. Bring us up to speed. What's been happening here? What type of resistance? What type of attacks? You know what I'm saying? Have the state been trying? You know what I'm saying, to push y'all up out of here? What type of community support we've been having here? Bring, you know what I'm saying, bring our listeners, our viewers, you know what I'm saying, who all of us are going through this. Sometimes, as we say, in so many cases, being oppressed is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So a lot of times we try to jive ourselves about it. You know what I'm saying? We just ease out. You know what I'm saying? But we want to commend forces who have to say, no, let's be vocal about this. Let's acknowledge this. And we're not just no regular victim. We're fighting back victims. You know what I'm saying? So we acknowledge it and calling in question who the criminals are. It's not a question about, people say, well, maybe they still ain't got the resources. They will, like you go to Burger King, and you order the wrong sandwich, and you say, I ain't want tomatoes on my sandwich. They can't give it to you. They got to throw it away. You know what I'm saying? These houses, people, this is offsetting their ecosystem. They need people to be strung out on drugs. They need people to be gang in Chicago. Need crime to happen. They need us to be homeless. We just ain't up with that. This ain't, we ain't up with that type of ecosystem. We very clear. This is a basic human right we're gonna fight for. So. That being said, bring us up to speed.
Okay. On November 18th, we moved into this house on Magnolia Street. And my personal story is I was homeless with my two children. And this is the new face of homelessness. It's not what you would normally see. It's working folks. I worked 2 jobs, went to school, got a degree, had to come home from I was in Mississippi going to school, working, organizing out there. Then I had to come here in April with me and my small children, and we became homeless. And I'm working a full-time job and a part-time job, and it's no excuse. There is not a thing about like scarcity in housing, because it's no scarcity, because there's 4 vacant houses for every 1 homeless person sleeping out on the streets. And since we've moved into this house, I've seen my children like develop. Like my daughter runs around the house. having shelter is a human right, is a
Yeah.
basic need. And my children, we didn't have that. And when we had that, I saw the advancement. Like my son, he started walking in his house. He started talking. This morning he was playing the drums. He's only one.
Wow.
And before he wasn't doing any of that because he had a space to crawl and to be
Yes.
able to develop. And even though I'm happy for my son, it just brings awareness to the bigger issue. Like, what about everybody else's son and daughter out there on the street? Because it's like 9,000 people out on the streets, and it's cold outside.
Yes.
And the company that's holding this house hostage, they're a billion dollar displacement machine. They're composed of 5 different companies. They all play their part in displacing our people.
Yes.
And we're fighting, and I'm staying. I'm not going nowhere.
Right on.
And that's it. We're here, and we're fighting until every unhoused person has shelter that wants it.
Right on. Right on. Scott, you want to ask?
I think Dominique said it best.
Yes, indeed.
That there are solutions, and the solutions that we need to see more of need to be put forward by people like Dominique, by people who are actually living in the conditions, who know what the answers are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that folks have to take matters into their own hands is because, solutions aren't coming from anywhere else. So this is about a self-determined solution to a crisis that nobody cares about.
Yes, indeed.
Folks have been like walking over unsheltered folks for years now in Oakland. The majority of the black population that is homeless in Oakland, well, I should say that 70% of the folks that are homeless in Oakland are black folks.
Yeah.
So that lets you know that there's a systemic racialized component to what's happening in housing. And it's not different than our sister city out there in the Midwest. Like, we're trying to save the Hampton House.
Yeah.
Just like we're trying to save the Hampton House, we're trying to save Mom's house.
Yeah.
And it can be done. Like you said, it's not about resources, it's about the will of the people making the demands and putting those demands forward.
Yes.
And expecting no less than what we deserve.
Yes.
And so I'm standing with Dominique. Our organizations are standing with Dominique and all the Moms for Housing, and all other folks who are demanding this right to shelter, because that's what it is. It's a human right.
Yes, indeed. Right on. Come right, feel free. You know.
Man, I'm here.
Yes,
Listen,
yes,
they
indeed.
said it all.
Yes,
They
indeed.
said it all.
You know, it's common conversation. You know what I'm saying? Just, like even in Oakland, people talking about the mysterious fires and stuff that happening in the Bay Area. It can be correlated to Chicago, which infamously referred to as Chirac. All these murders and stuff happening. You know, this. I mean, the plan is this, and people are very clear. You know what I'm saying? This one of the purposes to move us up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Get us out of here. And again, we got to put this call out, y'all. You know, I really relate to something you just talked about. Like even aside from this, the obvious, the physical contradiction, somebody not having a home. I mean, that impacts you. You know what I'm saying? But just even the psychological. You know what I'm saying? The emotional, in particular with these children. You know what I'm saying? Come on, no stability. You know what I'm saying? How you I mean, you can't talk about homework. You know what I'm saying? I mean, conversation, none of this. You know, you constantly moving around. You know, but there's something that you just say at the age of, how old is he now?
He's 1. He's like 14 months.
And just even the leaps and bounds, just for some stability, being in the house, you know. Malcolm X said America's democracy is an hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? It's a front, it's a facade of freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's the same, country administrators that, go abroad and, question about, human rights violations in Iraq, if there are political prisoners in Cuba, so on and so forth. But the fact that we even have this discussion, you know what I'm saying, right here about housing, is a graphic, a blatant expression, you know what I'm saying, what this system values, you know what I'm saying, property over people. And I don't I don't want to sound like no cynic, but it's a realist. The deal is, it's not, a lot of times, what if we appeal to the morality of the system, let them understand what's going on? We got to get organized. So even it's another, I just seen a commercial or trailer for some movie thing, Motherless Brooklyn or something. It's, yeah. And the guy who's playing the banker, the people, it was explaining to him, you're going to be displacing people, you know what I'm saying? He made it very clear. He said, he said he don't care about none of that, you know what I'm saying? And the deal is, You know what I'm saying? It's ways that, you know what I'm saying, resources can be garnered, but this is a parasitical system. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, that ain't no deals made. You can't, you know what I'm saying? In order to be a successful warden, people gotta be locked up. In order to, you know what I'm saying, be successful, don't deal with people that have habits. In order to be the system, they want us out of here. You know what I'm saying? And as Minister UEP News said, if we don't fight back and be defined as nothing less than reactionary suicide. You know what I'm saying? So again, with all the skills people got, you know what I'm saying, legal skills, resources, you know what I'm saying, come in various forms, you know, actual cash, you know what I'm saying, furniture, so on and so forth. And that most valuable resource, your body. We, you know what I'm saying, we need more, we need people to pack this courtroom in tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and those who can't be down here in Oakland, California, you know what I'm saying, our comrades will be giving calling information. We, you know what I'm saying, again, we got a opposition is when they hit us on the west side of Chicago, we ride. And they hit us in Oakland, California, we ride. You know what I'm saying? You know, again, we gotta connect these campaigns up, y'all. So we
I
need
think something that's critical that you just said, when you talk about homework and them not even being able to focus on it and how that impacts they process. Aja, which is your daughter. Aja's how old? 5 years old. Aja, when we first came in, Aja said it was this consistent conversation about homework. So people would say, Aja, what you doing? Aja say, you know, they asked how much homework you got. And I remember a distinct conversation. Aja was in there. She said, I have this much homework, but I won't be doing it, this, and that, right?
Yeah.
And she was talking about how she doesn't do her homework.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Aja ran in a room and reported to me, she said, I did 6 homeworks. Right? She came in and said, I did 6 homeworks.
Yeah.
These babies
Yeah.
have been in this house how long now?
Oh my God, almost 40 days.
Almost 40 days, right? In 40 days, we have watched Amir, how old is Amir? 14 months. Amir, who was not walking or talking, right? Yeah. We have watched Amir go from not walking and talking to actually walking. Like walking. Moving through the house, walking, right?
Yes, sir.
Talking.
Yeah.
One of his first words he said in this house was thank you.
Dig that.
Right?
Dig that.
We watched Aja go from homework insecure to coming in and being like, I did 6 homeworks today, right? And she felt that was important to report to me because we had a conversation about how to get homework done, right? Yeah. And just in 40 days, in 40 days under stress and duress, right? There's been times when we've had to struggle with keeping the heat on in here, keeping the lights on. I'll go upstairs, Aja and the other children are in a room. We have to tell them, come in the room where the heater is, right? Because they'll go and play in every room. They upstairs, and we've had issues with the circus in this house, the lights staying on, right? It was pitch black upstairs. We was trying to figure out how we going to fix that and get it going. I go upstairs, Aja and the other children are upstairs, and they're giggling, playing, and laughing. And I say, man, I'm amazed. And I'm asking them, I say, y'all not cold? She say, nah, I'm just jumping around. I'm having fun, right? But for her, even conditions that were not optimal, Aja was so appreciative that it didn't matter, right? That's what this has done, right? And so I want to highlight that because there are folks, who are able to get paid, like this NFL star from Shelter 37 in Los Angeles, who come all the way to the Bay Area, right? Who's willing to partner with Wedgwood, a right-wing funding. They fund the Republican Party. They fund Prager University, Study Prager University. This is the company that produces Candace Owens, right? Produces alt-right racist videos. That's this company that owns this house, right? And so you got Negroes who willing to come down and partner with them in order to put them out. We got some folks here in the Bay Area who willing, and we know there's conversations going on. They just scared to stick their head up because they know it's no public support for it. But let me say this, right? In 40 days, under duress, these babies have still developed, right? And so you got this billion-dollar company, and you got folks who have the audacity to talk about the illegality of this, but not the illegality of a billion-dollar corporation. Not the illegality of a billion-dollar corporation. holding these houses when they could afford to give this away and it ain't no thing,
nothing.
right? So I'm gonna end on this. I wanna highlight the nastiness, the pettiness, the grossness of them bringing in a nonprofit from LA that says they willing to give them the property.
Wow.
They willing to give them the property. Now, of course, they gonna split the profits.
Yeah.
They gonna sell it way over market rate, market value, and then give them the profits.
Yeah.
We saying, okay, if you want to give it to this sellout ass company, then give them 100% of it.
Yeah.
Sell it to the land trust.
Yeah.
Sell it to the folks that the moms are identifying that are willing to give it to them, and give them 100% of it.
Yeah.
We ain't saying, man, if you wanna fund Negro politics, then fund Negro politics. That's on y'all, right?
Yeah.
But give them 100%, right?
Yeah.
So the pettiness, the nastiness of it. What we're going to court tomorrow. This court date was scheduled for the 30th.
So when December 30th.
December 30th.
So when did the court date change? How we get notice about this?
We got, and I'm gonna let them tell y'all more about it. All right, the details. Right. This court date changes on a fly at a time when the Alameda County Sheriff says that they aren't doing any evictions countywide. They make a special move to evict these moms. They make a special move. Now the courts are closed for evictions to January, to the first week of January. They make a special move to evict these moms and children the day after Christmas. Right? This is unprecedented. Unprecedented. That they make a special court date to fast track it, to move it up. It was supposed to be the 30th. They moved it up to the 25th with short notice. They moved it up to the 25th, and they'll probably execute the eviction as soon as we leave court tomorrow. That's and you got Negroes backing this. That's the ugliness of this system, right? That's the ugliness of these systems. But you got these mothers who saying, we're going to stay. We're going to put these children in safety so these children are not in harm's way. But you got mothers who saying, man, we riding with this because we doing this for something other than just ourselves. It's beautiful.
Right on. We just let the record reflect. We got y'all back like a backpack and chilling with bulletproof vests. You know, again, we ain't set tripping. We gonna connect. First, let me take a few months right on connecting those dots about the different political tentacles. Because a lot of times we these different dynamics with attacks. We say, well, they're just housed. This is the police killing us. So this problem. This is the problem with the movies. All this is interconnected.
Yes, sir.
So also the timing. You know, like I was gonna reiterate. We can't put our guards down.
That's right.
3, 4 years ago, Christmas Eve, Betty Jones and Tony LeGrill was at Chicago. Chicago police had killed them. This, you know what I'm saying? So this the state the day after after Christmas, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so all of a sudden this court date changed to tomorrow. You dig? So again, in wartime, we can't afford no furloughs, y'all. We need everybody on deck, y'all.
That's right.
Make tomorrow. I didn't know that we need to know when the courthouse is at what time we're gonna be in court.
The court said that we need to be there at 9, so we're going to be there 30 minutes early.
No
because,
doubt.
We want to be there before they open.
Yeah.
As soon as the
court
doors
in
open.
case don't get thrown up when we get there.
Yeah. Dominique and some of the other moms are gonna speak and get folks on deck about what to expect for the day, and we're gonna just pack the courthouse. So it's tomorrow at the Hayward Hall of Justice, and the court, like I said, the court hearing is supposed to start at 9.
Okay.
But we're asking folks to show up early.
Need warm bodies, y'all. We need y'all out there. Hayward Hall of quote unquote Justice. 9 o'clock. We gonna be at 8:30 tomorrow. We have forces still here also, y'all. But again,
That's right.
let's connect these campaigns. We hear about this all over. You know what I'm saying? Again, man, Detroit, Philadelphia. If it was just happening in one place, we dismiss it and say, okay, that's, you know what I'm saying? It's a bad situation. But this is the agenda that's happening. As our sister Dominique just pointed out earlier, a lot of times we try to dismiss certain dynamics like, okay, what the system gives us is the face of homelessness, the face of crime, so on and so forth. These dynamics are happening to all of us in terms of with degrees, all that, you know what I'm saying, our community, our people. And the tactic of the system is to isolate us, you know what I'm saying, and say, okay, if you do this right, this can't happen to you. But again, we very clear, you know what I'm saying, what's happening, you know what I'm saying, this is done by design. And again, we got to organize, y'all. We need warm body tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, packing it in. So comrade, do we have any callers in queue?
Send Misty the call-in number.
929-477-3785.
It's on the flyer.
929-477-3785. Then press 1 to be heard. Call in, you know what I'm saying, to correlate, you know what I'm saying, some contradictions, some of the contradictions that's happening with you. We put the call out, you know, the coordinate that you got going on. Again, we got to connect these cases, y'all. We cannot afford the luxury to be isolated, y'all. Again, 929.
Call in another one.
Right on.
I'll get it to you.
929-477-3785. Y'all, again, we are live and direct on the historical stomping ground of Oakland, California. Again, the historical stomping ground of Oakland, California, y'all. Again, that's anything less from us not to be fighting back would be uncivilized. It'd be a disregard to the legacy of resistance. Again, we're in Oakland, California, y'all. So again, we need y'all on deck. You know what I'm saying? Tying these cases, city to city, state to state, y'all. Let's make history. Let's take history. Let's take history, y'all. And let me know if I'm gonna check see those who tuning in us live on Facebook. Y'all again, reshare it, repost it. Again, call in 929-477-3785. You know, so we doing more than having a discussion. We hiding the contradictions. We, you know what I'm saying, and we wear it in theory and practice. Again, we acknowledging this here again, because like I said, being oppressed is embarrassing. We definitely, man, quote me on that. But again, we fighting back, real talk, on our own terms.
Do that, comrade Daphne. You know, 510 numbers coming through.
Right on. Fremont, be on the heads up for a 510 number 2 to call in.
Misty.
This is the Misty.
Yes, Fremont, Mr. Chairman.
Fremont. Call in Q.
Fremont, we have called on area code 216.
Fremont, welcome Fremont Radio. Welcome. We hear you loud and clear.
Oh, hi. Okay, cool. Okay, so as a person who is living out of state, what would you say is like a great or like the most effective way to bring the awareness to this issue and like share it to like people from where I'm from? Because I didn't know about this until about like 30 minutes ago. Like,
You want a tag team with you?
You can share, amplify our message through your social media pages, through your friends, family, just as many people as you know that support. So we have a Facebook page, Moms for Housing, and then we also, our website is momsforhousing.org.
Let me tag team with our sister on that too.
Okay.
I mean, hold on, so let me add this also. These banks, you start doing some background checks on these different entities. They even outside the country. You know what I'm saying? They connected. They not set tripping. So we need, you know what I'm saying? Connect. Make sure whether we be in Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, we got to start connecting up. You know what I'm saying? So again, let's stay connected, sis. Right on.
Yeah.
There are also a few other.
Yes, sis. Yes.
It's like
Oh, okay, right on. I'm glad you called. I'm glad you called. Right on, sis. Hold on one second. I'll say to hold on one second.
There's also a text thread that you can get information about how to support. That's 510-800-7956. And if you text that line, text for the babies, then we'll send updates. That's one of the ways. It's also important to go on to the social media sites and let this corporation know. They're Wedgwood LLC, and they have a Twitter page. They try to keep everything else under wraps and like try to keep a low profile so people can't contact them. But there's definitely ways that you can reach out to this corporation and let them know that you don't appreciate what they're doing. So reach out to Shelter 37, reach out to Wedgwood LLC, and let them know that what they're engaging in is evil, and they are being watched. And it's not just these moms standing alone. It's just this. It's the whole community. It's the whole country. You know, some of the moms are getting information and just accolades from London, from Colombia, from all over the world. And the more that, the better. We need to let these corporations know that this is not acceptable.
That's on Twitter. You said Wedgwood?
Right. It's Jobs at Wedgwood.
Jobs at Wedgwood.
Like, I think it's the only Twitter presence that
Okay.
they have.
All right,
So we can put that information out as
let's
well.
make them infamous. Real talk.
That's right.
Right on. Right on, sis. Appreciate you calling in. And any, you know what I'm saying, again, this just ain't happening in Oakland. Let's heighten the contradictions. Let's connect up with any of our people going through similar situations. You know what I'm saying, down where you at. Let's make that connection. But again, revolutionary appreciation for you calling in, sis. Right on.
You're welcome.
Right on. We live and direct, y'all, the spirit of making history, taking history, taping history, y'all. Again, y'all feel free to, you know what I'm saying, call in. Cub in with us at 929-477-3785. Again, our best resource, the people, you know what I'm saying? Without the people, as Minister U.E.P. News said, revolution is impossible. Mr. Comrade, we got any more callers in queue? Fremont. Make sure y'all press 1. Again, call in number 929-477-3785. We live. Again, we live in Oakland, California, the birthplace of the Black Panther Party. Live and direct, y'all. Fremont. Fremont, welcome to Fremont Radio. Fremont. Fremont, welcome to Fremont Radio. Yes, indeed. You know, we ain't. Fremont, right on, brother. Welcome to Fremont Radio. Right on, my brother, Fremont.
Yes, sir, Chairman. We just checking in with your boots on the ground.
Yes, sir.
What you got going on out down the West Coast, Chairman?
Man, we live and direct. I don't know if you can follow this the case right now. You know what I'm saying? Something that we all too familiar with in Chicago, but you know what I'm saying, Chirac and everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? The homeless question. The deal is we want to make sure that let people know some resistance happening here, there, and everywhere. So we got a pressing court date tomorrow. We're gonna be we'll keep y'all updated. So we gonna, you know what I'm saying, make these connections of resistance that's happening here. Again, we in the historical city of Oakland, California. Birthplace of the Black Panther Party. And tomorrow for housing, we plan it. We here. You know what I'm saying? We got a court date tomorrow, so repost this, reshare this, get the information out. Tell them, you know what I'm saying, we need, again, the people are our best resource. We need people to support on this campaign and all other campaigns. Right on, my brother, for calling in, though. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. So right on for calling in, repost, let everybody know about the case we got going on right now. And again, we gonna connect them with cases right there in Chicago. Free them all, my brother. Free them all. You got any questions, brother? You good? Okay, y'all, we live and direct. Right on. Free them all.
Y'all, you tell them again about the court case, about the date, the time, and the place to be tomorrow.
The court case happening tomorrow is a claim to right of possession. The judge will determine whether Dominique and the mothers have actual right to be here based on the housing crisis that's happening in Oakland. It's at the Hayward Hall of Justice tomorrow morning. The case is supposed to be heard at 9. We're asking folks to be out early. My organization, ACE, is asking all of our membership, all of our union members from all over the East Bay to show up. All of the different networks that we're a part of, we're asking to show up. We're going to do eviction defense in support of Moms for Housing tomorrow. And we're also going to have folks at the courthouse. So tomorrow we'll be in 2 places because that's how the people need to stand and support. And so we'll be here at 9, and we will also be at the Hayward Hall of Justice tomorrow at 8:30.
What's this? Okay, technically, what's tomorrow's a hearing for what again? What is it tomorrow?
The claim of right to possession.
Okay.
We filed, that paperwork through the
Okay.
sheriff and the court.
Yes.
And, our right is because of, there's a homeless crisis
Yes,
and there's a
indeed.
vacant house. So the judge is gonna decide whether or not to let the, sheriff come in and go through with the eviction, but we're not going anywhere. The history of Oakland is resistance. I'm
Right
from
on.
East Oakland, the home of the Panthers.
So you're right.
We're not going nowhere.
So you're right.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on. Right on. Right on. Well said. Real talk. Anything else be uncivilized. Right on. Again, y'all, we here in Oakland, California. Y'all, we even put the word out, repost this. You know what I'm saying? Again, any other social media pages people should know about, get in contact and support, whatever. And again, those in the Bay Area close. Need y'all tomorrow at that court day tomorrow. I know some people been caught up with the holidays, so on and so forth, but again, the state, they do strategic strikes, you know what I'm saying? When we wrestling, you know what I'm saying? They pick these days again. So, hey.
And I wanna, all the influencers, all the folks with social media clout, all the folks with popular support, and I'm talking to all the actors, I'm talking to whoever, right? Share this, right? What you say, Chairman? That you don't have to be a revolutionary, just do a revolutionary act sometimes, right? You don't have to be a revolutionary, just do a revolutionary act sometimes, right? So this could be your revolutionary act for the month, right? Share this. Let folks know about this. Amplify this story. We ain't asking you to take no big risk, but we are saying, share this. Make sure people know about this. Support it in any way you can, right? If you can't show up to court tomorrow, blast it out. If you can't show up to court tomorrow, find out the number to call this company. Figure out how you can support them. Once again, we're going to shoot it back to the sisters because they leading this. We came in and supported them on this. We came in and supported them on this because that's what we do. But they decided that this is what's going to happen. And we here supporting because there are more moms. You just seeing one here because all the moms don't always want to be on camera, right? And some of the moms are attempting to spend time with their children while they got a place to be, right? Because they don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So once again, I'm sending this out to all the media influencers. Support this. Put the word out there. Make sure that they know about this because, Chairman, I've heard you talk about this multiple times on the show, that in Nazi Germany, that they were clear that the prisoners that didn't get correspondence and mail, them was the first ones to go to the gas chamber, right? So your power as a media influencer can impact this. So I'm saying, once again, as you've often quoted, you ain't got to be a revolutionary. Just do a revolutionary act.
You know, delving to the psychic, like, you know, the dynamics about not even knowing, where you're gonna be at tomorrow. Impact of that, you know, and one of America's policies is to create chaos and then restore order. Again, create chaos and then restore order. Whether we're talking about Iraq, Africa, Afghanistan, Chicago, Detroit, Oakland, California, and the deal is, Minister U.E.P. Newton said that prison is a microcosm of the outside community. Again, prison is a microcosm of the outside community. In other words, the police terrorism that we see, the displacement from the home, on the intense level side, the concentration camp, we see it, and just even the impact, we can see like this trend. When you talk about the crime epidemic, so on and so forth, you constantly moving people. We've seen in Chicago when they shut the Cabrini Green housing projects down. You know, saying literally packed brothers overnight without any transitional period. Packed, one community on top of another community. It was done. In fact, the word project, the University of Chicago would be an actual test where they would take lab rats and they would take them and pack them on top of each other, move them around, displace them, creating an antagonistic situation. These are war tactics. You know what I'm saying? And I recall like even inside the camps, you didn't know you were going to get referred to another prisoner, so on and so forth, and the type of antagonism, the situation that they created. So this ties to every discussion. You know what I'm saying? The crime epidemic, so on and so forth. And we have to use brutal terms for brutal realities. Our people are not just moving; they're being displaced. You know what I'm saying? Again, so you constantly you bounce around, and it's all in Chicago and up to other places. All we see is hearses and U-Haul trucks now. You know what I'm saying? Police cars. You know, again, it's done by design. You know, I was just at Ground Zero with Chairman Fred. They're thinking of Mark Clark was assassinated. I go back the other night. whole different community now. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no coincidence again. So again, we gotta take a stand, you know what I'm saying, support those who take the stands again, recognize the importance. This is the basic dynamic, food, clothing, and shelter. This is a basic.
I think one of the things that we haven't discussed is like this tactics. We talk about police terrorism.
Yes.
There's also economic terrorism through homeownership. Who is able to own property?
Yeah.
And the day that they file this paperwork and the right to possession, folks came and broke into the house.
Yeah.
The same time that folks was filing the right to stay here, it was a white van and two, they looked like white guys, tried to, well, they actually did. They broke into the garage, stole a bunch of stuff out the garage. Our security folks chased them down. They tried to run our security off the road.
Yeah.
You know, and then they came back over the next couple of days, and it's just like terrorism. There are
Yes,
children,
indeed.
women and children here, and you got folks, we don't know who's sending them. We don't know if they're wedged with us, because we know they get down like that too.
Yes.
Which is, it amplifies the need for having a security presence here 24
Yes.
hours a day.
Yes, indeed.
Because we don't know what these folks is up to.
Yes, indeed.
And just like it was a project to build projects, it's also a project to keep folks out of housing. And Dominique and Turhat talked about the children's development. If they're always concerned about who's going to be knocking on the door, who's coming to this house, like,
Yes.
or do they mean me any harm, that also has a psychological impact on these children growing up. And they know that keeping folks, predatory loans, that they targeted folks in Oakland
Yes.
with to actually steal wealth from black and brown
Yes.
communities in the first place through the first
Yeah.
foreclosure crisis, made a bunch of homeowners renters.
Yeah.
And then they come in with a second blow. The first punch was a foreclosure where they Wells Fargo was one of them that targeted black folks, calling them mud people for subprime loans. Once they took the wealth and took people's homes in this foreclosure crisis that this corporation benefited from, now you have them coming in and raising the rents to like $3,000 a month.
They call it
In Oakland.
affordable housing.
And they're calling it like affordable housing. Where it's like, who are you building it for?
Real talk.
And then they talk about, well, y'all can't use eminent domain, that's illegal. But West Oakland was uprooted
Yes.
because of eminent domain. When the government
Yes.
said, we're going to take all this
Yeah.
and we're going to build a BART, we're
Yeah.
going to build a post office,
Yeah.
we're going to build this, whatever we want to do in West Oakland.
Yes.
But now, all of a sudden, eminent domain, which has been proposed
Yes.
by one of the city council members
Yeah.
to take this home from this predatory real estate company, is now it's wrong for the government to do that. So we have some hardcore, people-centered city council members.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not the majority of them.
Yeah.
But it's definitely some folks on the city council that are listening and are standing with Moms for
Right
Housing
on.
to do something that is actually productive for the folks who have been literally robbed of wealth and housing in the city.
Yes, indeed.
So I think it's important to know that when we're talking about criminality, we need to talk about the folks who are coming and stealing actual asses and wealth
Yeah.
out of black communities, because that's what we're not talking about.
We need forces from all walks of life. I mean, electoral political fields, the politicians, we need to catch on the streets. We need y'all to put an official call out. Y'all keep an extra heads up for this house, where we at. Those in the artist community, y'all put this code of culture. We call it, we tell cats in Chicago and other places, just don't be when it's beneficial. I catching these songs, so we're repping the Bay, repping Chicago. We need you to rep this thing when it ain't popular, when it's under heat. You know what I'm saying? Oakland is under attack.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So catch some of y'all. Like we say, a lot of people are black when it's beneficial, play Panther when it's profitable, claim be connected to Cubs when it's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? This can't. Put this in your rap song. It's going down. This land grab. You know what I'm saying? Man, come up, man. Treat your fans. Tell them to meet you at the courthouse tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is political. We got tired of seeing. We can't afford the luxury just to have rap for rap's sake. You know what I'm saying? So we say it's too many of us in sing to the prison for some motherfuckers talking about some bling bling. So again, we need put the word out. Tweet, Instagram. Man, we need more. We need bodies tomorrow at the Hayward Hall of quote unquote justice tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Let's be there, y'all. Put the word out. Real talk. How we looking, Sister Conrad? And you call us in the queue?
Pretty much, Mr. Chairman. We have Congress, and we have 412-612, Fremont.
Welcome to Freedom On Radio.
Fremont.
Welcome to Freedom On Radio.
Fremont, Chairman.
Fremont. Right on. Right on.
Let me start off by saying stay in the Hampton Home.
Right on.
Remember to stay in the Hampton Home. And like the homeless situation is very, serious, and it's something that I got a lot of experience. Like I've been homeless, I've slept in the car with the kids. You park in a parking lot for a couple hours, try to get a couple hours in before police come mess with you that you're in the middle of a parking lot type shit. So I know, what it's like. So I know the seriousness. So I just wanted to call in and say that I'll be supporting. Tomorrow, I'm gonna call in and everything, even though I'm not in Oakland, but I will be, on the phone, giving them a call, and support like that.
Right on.
Anything like that, like how important it is for the children to have that stability,
Yes.
and like how they can, advance and, grow, and when they have an environment, so important for them to have that, So I definitely support, the sister's strong, she has the spirit of resistance, so I'm definitely on board with the campaign.
Yes, indeed.
And I kind of connected to when I was doing work here, like that gentrification and land grab,
Yeah.
where like the more I would go out and the more times I would attend these different city council meetings and stuff, and I would learn shit that just blew my mind of how they do the business. It kind of touches on what Sister Carolyn was talking about, like when I went to the one, they were displacing people. They had a guy who was placed here from another state, but he had companies everywhere, but it's like baby companies, and they got a parent company, so it's all this different paperwork to keep you all confused.
Yeah.
But they really, when I was sitting in the meeting, they had the houses was up for $1. They was selling the houses to these companies for $1, and I'm like, oh my wait, and I spoke down the meeting like, wait a minute, $1, like I want to help with them houses, like
Yeah.
how can I buy a house? So they always, so everything's political. So it's like the city council, they just like when I was sitting in these meetings, these people would come in there, just like the average person that I sit with on a regular basis or whatever would never imagine what goes on behind these city council meetings. Like people coming in there asking for $100,000 for a dog park. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people come in there and people are being displaced and ain't got nowhere to live.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So I definitely just wanted to call in and show my support, and just know that if supporting from Pittsburgh, and I'll be on them tomorrow.
Well, right on. And
For sure.
Right on. Fremont. Just even just adding the contradiction. So you go back, you get these bureaucrats and these gangsters and banksters. The deals dollar for lots, dollar for houses in Chicago. They'll say something like that, and it sounds real good, but the small print, we always have a little, requirements. So you can't have some parking tickets like a catch-22, and we very clear that the legislation alone, that ain't gonna free us. But just even the stuff, you'll be surprised the type of dynamic that go down in these city council meetings. You know what I'm saying? I told some Negro all in Chicago. I said this was Mayor Daley was the man. I said Mayor Daley said let's start back hanging Negroes. All you Negro, all of them saying could y'all get a contract on some of the ropes. That's all y'all be concerned about.
That's right.
Yes. So we want to say is Minister UP News said they love to perform that treachery in the dark. Let's turn the lights. We turn the lights on. So you know what I'm saying? Even these different meetings, just the presence alone. And I know it can be intimidating. We be in these different places. They doing out these different words, engaging with Chairman Fred, call a whole bunch of intellectual masturbation. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of words. But that's our presence alone. So you know what I'm saying? Come up there, you'll be surprised. You know what I'm saying? And it's stick to the basic script. Housing. Man, food, clothing, and shelter. That's basic. You know what I'm saying? We ain't getting caught. We ain't gotta get sidetracked on what's they. You know what I'm saying? Who used to go with such and such? What's their astrological sign? How they fit? Basic rights. You know what I'm saying? That's the position we get to stand on, y'all. So again, we need to pack these courthouses in. You know what I'm saying? Down there, and not even get engaged in sidetracking the slave. But the valid point. You know what I'm saying? You throw out this stuff, and you go find out it's the small print. You know what I'm saying? Go on the situation right now. I'll come back. This 15 Ward Chicago. all them Ray Lopez. Y'all, we been on live exposing this criminal. You know what I'm saying? He done tried all type of tactics at the neighborhood park. Say it's a little piece of trash over there. He want to shut the events down. They come, his cronies who he connected with. They getting property over there, just setting up, and they closing the gates up, putting for rent signs up there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, right up under our noses. You know what I'm saying? I mean, taking stuff, and they connected. But we say, what the Sandinistas said in Latin America, the will of the people is greater than the man's technology. Again, y'all, we gotta get organized. That's the conversation happening, and we can't let them believe this is no situation happening just in Oakland. Hiding the contradictions, y'all. You know what I'm saying? There's flood on the Twitters and social media, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Because again, an Achilles heel with this system, whether it be in the form of the slum lords, whether it be in the form of the police, whether it be in the form of the businessmen, so on and so forth, is exposure. It's exposure. You know what I'm saying? Again, so we got to hide the contradiction.
And I think that bears repeating something you just said. You just said that if they said we hanging niggas tomorrow, some of these Negroes would say, "Can I get a contract to make the ropes?" Mm-hmm. If they said tomorrow we hanging niggas again, some of these Negroes would say, "Can I get a contract to make the ropes?" and call that progress.
Mm-hmm. Real talk. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And our position is, you know what I'm saying, we don't care if it's Uncle Sam or Sambo, the Gringos or Negroes, you know what I'm saying? We gonna defend ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We planted here.
Yes, sir.
Our sister pointed out earlier, hey, this Oakland, California, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We know it's a lot of change and so on and so forth, but again, it's something in the soil in this motherfucker, though, real talk. It's something in the soil. You know what I'm saying? Anything less be less than civilized. And we have a history of resistance in so many places, you know what I'm saying? Again, a lot of it documented, a lot has not been documented. I mean, in the conversation we was rapping, Phil Marshall, you saying you talking to some older brothers and sisters down south, and they made a comment to the point that, see, you know, a lot of places the Ku Klux Klan never went to. Right. And I'll be like, that, the deal is, it's a mass, it's a narrative that you just think the Klans just put up, the sheets and roll motherfuckers get little. Everybody just, they run and then they burn the cross. But you say, no, it wasn't no, it's a place they be riding horses. Hey, man, second thought, Bob, this might not be, doing them down, that's what such down there. The horse will tell, hey, man, this ain't the right move, you know what I'm saying? And we clear up, there's some people that's, cool, the plantation situation. That ain't us. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't us. So there's some resistance happening here. And again, but we don't want to get that. We are not heroes. The deal is, Minister European, so we must distinguish a revolutionary from a hero. A hero does an action. People say, "Wow, that's a hell of a thing," but the people can't emulate that. They say, "I can't." Revolutionaries, people say, "I can relate to that." You know what I'm saying? Yes, we know these contradictions that we're talking about. This ain't no aberration. If it was just happening here, we say, "Okay, man, bad situation. It's fucked up right now in Oakland." This is common. This is the modus operandi. This is the MO. How this system been getting down on all of us again. And deal is they play of us not being connected, y'all. It may be called Department of Children and Family Services in Chicago. Maybe called some Atlanta Child Care in Atlanta. The deal is the basic line, kidnapping our children. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe called the housing program, the housing development, whatever the deal is. This is historically how they been getting down. You look at the indigenous community. You know what I'm saying? They put in these tell the native people, you know what I'm saying? The irony, even the politics that had us growing up as children saying words like Indian giver, like the lack of logic to that shit. You look at the land and say, okay, you saying the native people just gave this to white folks, and then, you know what I'm saying, then they changed their mind. No, they was scalped, they was robbed, they was raped, and laws and this was put in place to take the land from them. And that's what's happening here, y'all. That's what's happening here. Again, hey, we got a data struggle, we got a data win, y'all. Real talk.
And I want to say, listen, we following their leadership, right? So I want to hear from y'all what y'all want us to know, what's the marching orders, We here to support, we talking, and we putting our fire on it, but we want to hear what's the marching orders. Y'all tell them again where the court is happening, and anything else you feel like folks should know. I've had the benefit of sitting in here with all of y'all and hearing y'all stories and seeing y'all fire and knowing what it's about. I want the world to see that fire. I want them to understand and know who y'all are. So, share with them.
Okay.
Right on.
I'm from East Oakland all day. Born and raised in Oakland. And I've seen my community just change. I left to go to school in 2004, stayed down in Jackson, did some organizing. And when I would even come home to visit, and I'd be like, wow, it's changing a little bit. But when I actually came back, my whole family is displaced.
Yeah.
My whole family, we all from Oakland. Like, we came from Arkansas, Mississippi.
Yeah.
They came here in the 40s, set up, same house on Oral Street in East Oakland. And that's our home. But only my grandmother is left there in
Wow.
that home. And everybody else is in Stockton, Antioch, Vallejo, Sacramento, because they can't afford to live here. And this, like y'all said, is not only an Oakland issue. This is happening all over the world.
Yes.
Our people are out in the streets.
Yeah.
And shelter is a basic human right. And we stand here, and I'm not going nowhere. And tomorrow we want folks to show up at 8:30. So we're gonna speak at 8:30. We want to pack that courtroom, and then outside, depending on what's happened, we're gonna decide where to go from there. But we want folks here at Mom's house for eviction defense, and we want people at the courthouse.
Right on.
So once again, that's what the marching orders that we're being given from Moms for Housing is. We want to pack the courtroom, and they'll give you the address again at 8:30. But listen, it's a new development that the lawyers are telling us that the possibility that they may execute the eviction tomorrow. So we also asking folks to come here and be at this house tomorrow at 8:30. So if we got to call the priority is to be at this house tomorrow at 8:30, because we want to show them that the people stand with these mothers.
Sure, right.
I think we see that a lot.
Okay.
Since Conrad, you check the calls. So you got a call in queue.
And my brother Cherry, he'll call it the queue. Probably just get like the
Make sure she push
Press one.
Press one.
Yeah, press one. Real more. Yeah, you know, I'll just you just give me a flashback. This piece of Nipsey Hussle told he went back to his home to Eritrea, and he told me like even how the whole family would come back and how they break bread and lunch, so how that impacted his whole life, and just like we just so destabilized, like even Chicago, Oakland, like it was a time like it was known, like you going back down south to grandmama's house and so forth. You got situations now. I just dealt with a situation recently in Chicago. People don't know they're related to no more. So destabilized. Ain't no more, family house or going to grandmama's house. Ain't no house. You know what I'm saying? And you got cats that's getting into each other. You couldn't find out they cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So the trickle down impact of it is mind blowing. You just took me back for a minute when you just said about your history, your family here. You know what I'm saying? And it be a time we go back to them. Community anchors, you know what I'm saying? Go, meet up, whatever difference we had, so on and so forth. And it's everything from the schools being shut down, the whole destabilized. If this was happening in other places, at least it'd be an acknowledged war. They use war terms for it,
And I think it's also important to acknowledge, like, this is not a coincidence.
No doubt.
This is a part of a plan.
No doubt.
You mentioned it earlier. They have things called specific plans. Where they plan out the entire structure and the development process for different parts of cities.
Yes.
And so, in this plan, they made it clear, like, years ago with the former mayor, who was also the former governor, that he had a specific plan for downtown Oakland, which is to bring in 10,000 new people, new residents to the city, which is what's in progress right now.
Yes, indeed.
And they have got to kill the revolutionary spirit in Oakland. Oakland is so critical to not only the state, but the nation and the world, because of the revolutionary blood is something in the soil. And it's not a coincidence that all of these housing issues are happening in Oakland and in Chicago. And the destabilization of Chicago is so necessary to white imperialism and to white supremacy. In the same way, it's critical to the development in Oakland. They are planning, it's ethnic cleansing and a conscious planning to get black folks out of here, away from the centers of wealth, away from San Francisco, away from the financial centers of Oakland. It's not a coincidence. It's very calculated. And in the same way that thousands of folks came out for Women's March, and when white supremacists were coming to Oakland and to Berkeley, you saw signs in everybody's windows, like Oakland stands united against hate.
Yeah.
There's nothing more blatant
Yeah.
than the hate of black bodies
Yeah.
that allows this to happen right now. So what I want to see is Moms for Housing signs in every window in Oakland, for Oakland to stand united against gentrification and against the white supremacy that comes in the form of housing insecurity for the thousands of folks that are here, because the population has shrunk from 47% to around 24% for black folks in the city. And that's strictly because of black folks standing up in this city and being an example for the rest of the world about what resistance looks like. And I'm so proud to stand with the mothers to be like, nah, not today.
Well, we
Not today.
What you said, yeah, no doubt. 25th salute. Real talk. You know, I had a ritual. When I come to the Bay, I always tell the college, when I lay married, get my walk in. I just, man, the change. Man, I mean,
Chairman,
man.
Secretary just said something that was critical, and I want you to elaborate on it, right? I want you, it's probably missed.
Free wants to come around. Is it? That's okay, so I call him. Okay. That's Sister Misty? You there, sis? Right on, sis.
I met Misty years ago.
What about now? You sound a little better?
Yeah, that's a little bit better. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud
We
and
can
clear,
hear you
sis.
good.
Yep. Right on.
I was just about to tell people how hardcore you are for Oakland and how much you wrote, like, not just for the city, but like as a candidate for school board, as a committed parent to your children's education, as someone who's been advocating in your particular district in West Oakland, how you've just committed your life to service in the city of Oakland, and to be in this position is just, it's insane. So, I mean,
This is one of the moms. Misty is one of the mothers.
Okay.
Misty is one of the mothers that's fighting this fight along with Dominique and the other mothers. So Misty is one of the mothers who's willing to step up and speak on this.
Right on. So we are honored and humbled to have you on live with us right now. You know what I'm saying? So Dominique, give us a history. You know what I'm saying? Was our comrades. So just feel free. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? We put out the court date tomorrow. But anything else you want to add to? So what's been going on? How we can assist? What's going on here? I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. I'm based in Chicago, but again, we connected. I be here all the time, and Black Panther Party Cubs. Just say, again, we honored and humbled to be. Our comrades, they've been on deck. Keeping us abreast. But whatever else, feel free. The airways are open. This is one of our programs. It's a program we serve the people. So the airways are open for anything that you want to add to. And also to reiterate about that court date tomorrow. So we here, sis. So the airways are open for you.
Thank you. We appreciate you for supporting us, and all we ask is that people just stand with us and just keep riding out this movement. Like you said, we done a lot of work in this district, and because I've seen what was happening, I just felt like I had to step in because I'm going through this process. And to be going through the city and the county and all their programs, and it's really no help. I'm working for a city that I can't even live in. I grew up here. I was born and raised. There's no way I can't afford to live here.
Yeah.
I stepped into running for the school board because I've seen what they were doing to our public school system. And then they talking around the parents' heads, having them in long meetings, speaking for 2 minutes, and then they still not doing nothing about what they're doing to our kids' public education, which is free. After that, they got nothing else they got to pay for it. And if they don't get the basics, then there's no way that they can be our future to even succeed. Nobody even wants to come back to the community to really do the work because they got sold the carrot, they done moved out. And now they can't even come back here. That's a problem.
Yes, indeed.
I'm willing to stand the line and I'm willing to go to bat. Like our city council member, Ned McElhaney, has to show any kind of This is crazy. And how is the human rights and why can't we just afford it?
Right on.
Why they gotta be out on our range and we can't afford it unless we go on out to Stockton or Vallejo or Vacaville. We don't wanna leave. Some of us wanna stay. Some of us wanna rebuild the community.
Yes. Yes.
I ain't relocating.
Right on.
And like I said, before I leave this place, I'm gonna have something for my ladies that's coming behind me, my seeds. They don't have something to
Right
stand
on.
on. They understand what's going on.
Right on.
Right on, sister.
Court dates getting changed, our phones getting tampered with.
Yes.
They sending people cutting locks to run up in that place while we in there with our kids. Come on now, what's really happening?
Yeah.
Y'all really want us to shut up?
Huh.
That bad? Y'all are trying all these tactics to change our court date.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be standing there. We're gonna be standing on the grounds of that building, and we're gonna be at the courthouse.
Show you right.
And I hope everybody come out and show them.
Show you right.
We want this to be a rolling thing where it's gonna keep on going.
Yes, indeed.
We ain't gonna stop even if the judges do decide to do something different.
Huh.
We still gonna make this movement move.
Show you right.
This is our life. We live in it. It ain't gonna stop with us tomorrow. We still gonna be in the same predicament.
Show you right.
And don't play out the right way. I'm just praying that it do play out the right way because, I mean, come on now. We're gonna try to get into another organization to have them build on it. First of all, we've already been building on it. It wasn't a home until we moved into it. It was just a property. It was just a building.
Yeah.
We made it a home when we occupied it.
I feel it. I'm here now. I feel it.
Built that place.
I feel it.
We cleaned it up.
I see. Yes, indeed.
We did the work at that thing.
Right on.
So now you want to take the work that we say and say, oh, you got somebody else to do that? No, that ain't what we doing here.
Right on.
You need to sell us the place or donate it to us.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't want to take nothing. We want to pay for it.
Dig.
But we want to put it back into the community's hands.
Right on.
We're trying to get it out of these speculators' hands. We had enough of them trying to buy us out.
Show you right. Both of you sisters y'all are inspirational. We say in the spirit of steel sharpening steel, and men and women sharpening men and women. We are charged up. You know what I'm saying? And we based in Chicago, we had a campaign to say the childhood home with Chairman Fred Hampton. Our position was and remains to be handcuffs and caskets before we abandon it. You know what I'm saying? So we in solidarity. We connected. You know what I'm saying? Again, we we gonna be on deck. I'm at court tomorrow. I'm there. We there. You know what I'm saying? And we putting the word out to our forces. We're gonna be retweeting this and Instagram and all that. You know what I'm saying? Put the word out. Those who can't be here physically, call in, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We need the world to talk. We need to tap into conversations.
Have them pushing a line on our district member. Have them pushing a line on our district member and our mayor.
Okay. Yes,
Both
indeed.
of them.
Yes,
Everybody.
indeed.
Our county member, everybody. Call their lines, blow them up. Tell them to get on the phone, call them, ask them why they not on these lines supporting us for this.
Show you right.
There's no way that this
First thing in the morning. Let's start. Matter of fact, before they get in work tomorrow, so they come in, their secretaries and tell them they can get the calls as soon as they came in. Let's flood them. No doubt. Real talk. Real talk. Right on. Right on.
So
Yes,
once
indeed.
again, so we following y'all lead. Give us the marching orders again. What tomorrow, time and place, what we doing?
It's 8:30 tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to be at the courthouse at 8:30 in Hayward, and we're going to be at the house at 9. We trying to hold both lines.
Yeah, we double breasted. Yes, indeed.
What I was about to ask earlier, as I said, when you was talking about the sister cities
Yes,
and Chicago,
Yes.
right? Secretary mentioned Chicago too, right? It's a war on all chocolate cities.
That's right.
It's a war on every chocolate city. It's happening in every chocolate city, right? They getting diminished.
Yeah.
You hit me to something when I was on one of the trips out there, moving around, moving and shaking in Chirac.
Yeah.
That Cook County has the largest black population in the nation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that again, that Cook County, which is what Chicago is a part of, has the largest black population in the nation, right? They're assaulting every chocolate city in America. So expand on that for us in terms of the black population in Chicago and the correlation.
Yeah, about it, you know. You look, we seen it. A lot of people call it. They say y'all paranoid in regards to what a lot of people refer to as Hurricane Katrina, which we versus Hurricane America. I mean, the district, how after the hurricane, with how people try to attribute to natural disaster, but the deal is by no debate regards to the response that the French quarters, the white communities, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to the black community, the private resources. And we got actual testimonies, you know what I'm saying, that the levees was blown up, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, you look at even the different elected officials, the time that they lock them up, you know what I'm saying, with Detroit, you know what I'm saying, New Orleans, the mayor, so on and so forth. You know, it's not about no stopping no crime, you know what I'm saying. And a lot of these places too, I'm gonna say this too, like in Chicago, even this operation, not Silver Shovel, it was another operation where the feds had these Negro aldermen. They were complicit with it. They were complicit with getting funding to drop toxic waste off in the black communities. And then when the state got to using, they locked them up. You know what I'm saying? But these were areas that the state was going at. You see the strange shooting. I mean, you got cases 2 nights ago. 13 people both get shot in this house party, but you look how vague the reporting is, you know what I'm saying? And it's back to back. I'm talking all these strength, and even the people of the late. In other words, people who don't have who not coming on political analysis. They saying Chicago, which used to be like a city of structure, it's still certain symbolism there, but it's corroded. You know, so Chicago was the last major city that crack cocaine was introduced because certain people they had to lock up and they had to literally take out. You know what I'm saying? You see the different dynamics of again, where the crime is happening at, what type of crime is happening, you know what I'm saying, these different locations. You can correlate it back to days, you know what I'm saying, with the indigenous community. And like I say, we have an issue with that term, the Great Migration. You know what I'm saying, our people did not just leave from down south. You know what I'm saying, you go back and there was some embarrassing stories, some embarrassing realities that happened to us. You know what I'm saying, uncles and aunties and cousins were raped, shot, you know what I'm saying, the land stolen, took from them, you know what I'm saying. These simply, they move us around, whatever's beneficial for the system at some particular time. Okay, we want the suburbs, we switch around, we want the south, we want the north. So keep on moving us around. And the deal is, even when you move, just when you move, you always losing something. You know what I'm saying? When you move from one house to another. Look, I mean, we constantly losing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the new law pop up. All of a sudden, I mean, the park, you got parking meters on the lakefront Chicago in the black areas. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, you say, oh man, they be paranoid, so on and so forth. No, the laws, also the increase of tickets. Police will tell you, they get certain mandates. Start ticketing them for riding bikes on sidewalks. I mean, even from, if you, whatever perspective you want to come from, all the killing that's happened in Chicago, the fact that police are pulling you over talking about a ticket for riding a bike on the sidewalk, this is, you know what I'm saying, it's a politic that's, you know, it's tied into who get the contract, so on and so forth, you know, to get us up out of there. You know, so you go back and the business owners, who gets the contract, what they able to sell in our community, what they can't sell in the community, so it's done by design. You know, again, at one time, that number is fast, it's quickly dwindling. But you know what I'm saying, I can't even say that no more right now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is recent history. Mm-hmm. Chicago at one time was able to, per capita, the largest county of black people. You know what I'm saying? And the deal is, they would get just similar to that chattel slavery. They'll get some Negroes who are complicit with it. You know what I'm saying? You say, okay, you be the front man. A lot of times people can't see past that. We gotta be very clear. We don't care who it is. Taking our houses from us, you know what I'm saying, depriving us of basic human rights. We don't care if it's Uncle Sam or Sambo, the Gringo or the Negro. We're going to call the question, whoever it is. That's right. Whoever it is.
As you said, I'm going to quote it again. As you said, as you quoted earlier, that if they said tomorrow we hanging niggas, man, that it's a nigga who will be like, can I get the contract to make the rope?
Yeah, yes indeed.
All skin folk ain't kin folk.
Man. So the deal is, we want to know, we all telling this on this question right here. Again, you don't have to be no genius to understand. I mean, housing, you know what I'm saying? Again, how it impacts you. Not just, I mean, aside from just the physical, I mean, because again, you need to survive. You know, so you got campaigns with the animals they talk about. Make sure, you know, they got passed federal laws about you can't leave dogs out in the cold so long. I mean, recently, it's a big discussion. They had committee hearings about this, and you can't leave dogs outside. So they talking about put human beings.
That's right.
Out in the cold. You know what I'm saying?
What's the latest with the Hampton House? Where we stand with that?
We still fighting for the campaign to save and maintain the Hampton House. We want to commend the community that has been bringing through their bottles of water, that's been coming through, you know what I'm saying, with support. We've been able to cover a couple of hurdles to get them banks to back up. We still got to bring the building back up to code. know what I'm saying? People can still support that. GoFundMe.com/Save the Hampton House 50. We at 804 South 17th Avenue. We there, you know what I'm saying? In the, you know, everything the sisters laid out, man, I'm hearing it echoing in my head, you know what I'm saying? Phone, mess with your phones, you know what I'm saying? Coming through, writing tickets, all these type of different tactics again. So we, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they connected across state borderline. We want to, you know what I'm saying? Again, we connected with the courageous resistance that's happening here. I'm just hearing the testimonies from my sister talking about, you know, how they came in, cleaned the house up. So, you know what I'm saying? Our people say, well, what we going to do without the system? Shit, back up, watch our smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We got this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we come in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, and I just want to commend y'all, the people, again, the people. You know, and I'm not saying in no cliche type of way. We know we capable of doing. We witnessed that shit. You know what I'm saying? So again, the deal is, the state don't want. They want to keep that enclosed. They want to keep that. You know what I'm saying? Because once that, it's like when they train elephants in India. If you train, they say you train an elephant in India. If the elephant sees the trainer step on a cup and the elephant steps on the cup, that elephant has to be destroyed. Reason being, because the elephant will get the words of other elephants. They'll say, "Damn, what the fuck is we running? Listen to this little video joker for? You know what I'm saying? Strong as we are. They want this campaign to be known. You know what I'm saying? Again, at the Hampton House, I'm going against all odds. People telling us that y'all, man, you ain't gonna be able to stay there, so on and so. Man, no heat, no water. You know what I'm saying? The community, the people. So many, you know, some people come through there. They say, one brother come through say, man, he painting the house. His mother seen him on Facebook Live. She said, man, do you know what the history of that house? He said, I didn't know. The conversation piece. You know what I'm saying? Again, we say, it's bigger than the building. This is we want this to be adopted with all these campaigns. It's bigger than the building, more significant than the structure. You know what I'm saying? It impacts the community. Like I said, it's not just no isolated situation. You know what I'm saying? Other people pick up on this because again, it's so many horror stories in our, you know what I'm saying, in our neighborhoods and our families. We don't want to talk about it. That's the most southern secrets. We don't talk about that. No, we talking about this shit. We talking about the way of not in the usual way of just, you know. Oh man, we automatically we blame ourselves. Well, did you file this? Did you pay this mortgage? No, these motherfucking gangsters and banksters. Every time if it was just me, I say okay, maybe it's just me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But every time these, man, a criminal psychologist said, you go to a crime scene. That's what our communities are. This is a crime scene.
That's right. The
first thing you got to look for, goddamn it, is who benefited. You know what I'm saying? If it was just one, you know what I'm saying? It's every case these same banksters and gangsters. You know what I'm saying? You might dismiss one case. Okay, man, I ain't do much. Right, or I missed this payment. This is an agenda. You know what I'm saying? The type of crime that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's done by design.
That's right.
We gonna whoever we gonna hang the contradiction. You know what I'm saying? Who all complicit with it?
Yes, sir. So once again, we following your lead, take marching orders, give them to them again, so folks know where to be and how to get down.
Meet
Y'all
us,
tag team.
all right. Meet
Y'all
us
tag
at
team.
8:30 in Hayward at the courthouse and 9 o'clock at Mom's house. We're gonna be in both places because we know that the sheriff might have the immediate eviction, order for us.
My sister, you still with us? Missed you, right?
Yeah, still here.
Right on. Hey, we just want to say revolutionary love, respect, clench fist salute. You know what I'm saying? Again, anything else you want to add, please feel free. This Freedom on Radio. We every Wednesday, y'all keep our list. We get an international listener audience. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally here. You know what I'm saying? In Oakland, I'm gonna be at court tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be at court tomorrow. And we say the Cubs are coming. The Cubs are coming. Black Panther Party Cubs are here. Yes, indeed. Right on. Love, respect. Let's make history, take history, and tape history, y'all. Real talk. All right, listeners. Any more callers in queue? All right, y'all. We got again. We are free them all. We are inspired. You know what I'm saying? And y'all spirit and spirit of steel sharpening steel, and men and women sharpening men and women. We on deck. You know what I'm saying? So again, we charge. In fact, Chairman Fred would say we have the people. In fact, better yet, Chairman Fred would say we are too proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated to be astronomically intimidated. In other words, man, how y'all gonna go? Y'all going against all odds. You know what I'm saying? The banks got a whole history. They got a whole graveyard of motherfuckers' houses they done took. You know what I'm saying? But again, we have that history of again the birthplace of the Black Panther Party. We have that history of resistance, y'all. Again, we are too proletariat revolutionary intoxicated. We actually intimidated. In other words, we too high people to be shook up. We need y'all on deck, y'all. Tomorrow, live and direct, you know what I'm saying, 9 o'clock. It's been another episode of Freedom on Radio. It's been making history, taking history, and taking history. Say the Hampton House, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we need y'all on deck. Maybe connect these campaigns. Need y'all, man, this house right here. We need 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Do we get address where we at? Let the people know where we at.
2928 Magnolia Street, West Oakland, California.
Yes, indeed. On deck, y'all. Those the different elected and selected officials. Oakland, California, the mayors, we had the city council, we had all of this.
City Council.
City council, let's flood. And what they stand on this here, artists, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, we repping the Bay, you know what I'm saying? When it's cool, we need concrete support on this here, you know what I'm saying? I tell them cats Chicago, going to y'all from the shot. Hold on, man. Shit, when they heat on, we need you on deck. We need concrete support.
Yes, sir.
Concrete support, y'all. Make a song. Hit the studio tonight. Shit, drop some lyrics about that shit. Shit, run that shit on Instagram ASAP.
That's right.
Real talk, y'all.
Have there been local artists who stepped up?
Yeah, shout out to Bruce Riley. He has stepped out and given a lot of support. So shout out to Boots.
Right on.
I also want to shout out W. Kamal Bell, a locally based comedian. He's also boosted this on Twitter. Fantastic Negrito has also signal boosted this on Twitter. Josh Fox in New York signal boosted. We need all the, if you claim Oakland, you know, if you're from Oakland and you love Oakland and you don't like how it's being gentrified, stand up and let your voice be heard. It's not even a revolutionary act to be like, oh, I'm gonna let people know about what's going on.
These are Oakland natives, born and raised.
Right.
All these sisters.
What's signal boost? What'd you say?
Just like go on Twitter, retweet it. Like go
That's
if
it,
you
that's signal
go to
boost?
go yeah,
Okay.
just like
But it's not. I'm not.
just amplify the stance that these are all Black women born and raised in the city of Oakland who are working multiple jobs who cannot afford to live here. It's by design that Black folks are being priced out of the city, and it's a shame, number one, that all of our elected representatives that are standing up and supporting these women don't look like these women, right? It's like we need Black folks being like, enough is enough. Black folks need to be standing up because we're the ones that are being most harmed by this housing crisis, right? So we need to stand up and support each other. We heard a few years ago, like, we need to love and support each other. We need to protect each other. Like, we have nothing to lose but our chains. Let's lose them. Let's shake them. We do that by supporting sisters who are taking revolutionary stands. They got threatened last week by the DA. Like, well, we don't want them to lose their children. What the what? So no, like that. Like we need folks standing in front of them. Like, oh, they will not lose their children. And we will not allow you to do what you're trying to do to them. And Wedgwood, you will not. You will have no peace. You will have no rest if you think you can come in the city and do this. This is Oakland. This is not LA. And I don't know what happens in LA. But in Oakland, things go a certain way. And we will not stand idly by and let y'all come and put these mamas on the street. It's not happening. Not happening.
You're on the court tomorrow, you know, it's live and direct, you know. The fact that we even have this discussion, you know, so again, it's a graphic depiction, it's a sign of the times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we talk about Beverly Hills, we talking about Oakland, California, y'all. You know, real talk. Need y'all on deck, y'all. Get another episode of Freedom on Radio. Let's make history, let's take history, and tape history, y'all. Need y'all on deck tomorrow. Again, represent love, respect. Any more calls and accused to Conrad?
No callers in queue, Brother Kevin.
Give me something to take us on out.
No callers, if you'd like to come in queue, please press 1.
I think we down to the last 7 minutes. Give me something to take us out. Any closing words, sis?
Free them all. Save the Hampton House. Save Mom's house.
Right on. Good, Conrad?
Good.
Right on. Well, we gonna be good. Hey, we're shame free. Everything gonna be all right once everything get put back in the hands of the people, y'all. So we need y'all on deck, y'all. Give me put something on deck so Conrad take us out with. Something to stick in their mind for tomorrow so you can get up tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, ready to roll. Revolution, love, and respect also, Mr. Misty. Yes, indeed. Yes, it's right on.